Greetings all, this is Precious, the new Jamaican, and welcome to my channel. Thanking all of you who have subscribed to the channel, given feedback, etc. Please keep it coming. It is an encouragement. Remember to share these videos. Doing so boosts this channel. And for all of you who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell. I just wanted to jump right in and provide you with the information that I have received regarding the steps one must take in order to be classified as a returning resident so that you can receive certain duty exemptions when you are shipping. But let's make sure we know exactly who Jamaica considers a returning resident. So according to the Jamaica Customs Act, the link to the entire act is below, there are 3 categories of passengers to whom returning resident exemptions can apply. The first passenger is, according to the Customs Act, the definition of this passenger is a person who the proper customs officer is satisfied is 1. A Jamaican national or former Jamaican national who has attained the age of 18 and has been a resident overseas for not less than 3 consecutive years. 2. Landed in Jamaica on a Jamaican passport or a non-Jamaican passport endorsed with the unconditional landing stamp from the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA. And 3 is returning to Jamaica to reside permanently. This passenger is defined as a person who the proper customs officer is satisfied 1. Is a Jamaican national who has attained the age of 18 years and has been a resident overseas for more than a year but less than 3 years for the purpose of pursuing a course of study at the tertiary level. Now, U.S. undergrad is 4 years, so they must make some kind of exemption for that. Whatever. 2. Landed in Jamaica on a Jamaican passport or an international passport that is endorsed with the unconditional landing stamp of the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency. And 3 is returning to Jamaica to reside permanently. The other types of passengers are the Foreign Services Officer, and this is a Jamaican national who is on assignment overseas for 3 years or more on behalf of the Jamaican government. And finally, there is the involuntary returned migrant, deportees. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, the foregoing only need be done for the main returnee, meaning, as in my case, I'm the spouse of a returning resident, so I did not actually have to do a separate or additional application. However, and interestingly enough, after we submitted the application, there appeared to be an option to submit an additional application. So I'm thinking maybe this is in the case of an adult child returning with his or her parents, or maybe a husband and a wife where both are Jamaican nationals. Yeah, that's got to be why that is. Okay, so what you first must do is log into Jamaica Customs Agency's website, and that website is www.jacustoms.gov.jm. The link is below. You then need to go about midway on the page to the returning resident section and click the online application and booking portal link, which is about here. You would then need to complete the very short entry info form, and this is not the actual application, this is just how you register. And on this form, you would need to enter your first, middle, and surname, and finally your email address. They will then tell you to expect an email from Customs in about 2 hours. Well, in actuality, you'll get this email immediately. I think they're saying that just to give themselves some wiggle room in case it does take longer. Now, when you receive this email, all you need to do is click yes within that email, and this confirms your email address. This email will also tell you to expect another email in about an hour, and that email will provide you with a username and password that you can use to access the application. And for us, this email came in about 15 to 20 minutes. This email will, as they said, have your username and password. And a little further down in the email, there is a click here link, which takes you to the place where you would enter your login credentials. Now, do not get confused, because when you click that link for the application, you're sent to a Microsoft login page. Now, if you already have a Microsoft account, do not use that login information. You need to use the username and password that Jamaica Customs Agency provided you, not your own personal Microsoft login info. Now, once you sign in, you will have to change your password. So you want to keep this information someplace safe and make sure you use a password that you can easily remember. And this will take you to the application. Now, just a word of note, be ready to complete the application and submit it when you log in, as there is no save option or anything like that. If you're not completely ready to submit your application or find you need to collect some additional required documents, you will have to log in again and start the application process all over. Now, I'm not saying you have to get another username or password, but you will just have to into whatever information you've already entered on the application. You would have to enter it again, because like I said, there's no save option or anything like that. Now, the application is not long at all and it's very simple. Aside from the personal info, a few of the questions that you will have to answer are: have you applied for returning resident status before? Which country are you coming from? How long have you lived abroad? Are you employed in your current country? Have you resigned from your current employment? Do you have a retirement benefit? Where will you be living in Jamaica? Are you renting? Are you living with family? Are you a property owner? Describe the category that best fits you: returning resident, returning student, deceased person. I'm not joking. It actually says that. See? Okay, that did throw me a minute. I mean, I was like, what the world? Deceased person. But listen, this would obviously be completed by someone who's bringing the remains of a deceased Jamaican national home for burial in Jamaica. There are other questions, but I just wanted to let you understand that they're very simple questions. So that was not an inclusive list at all. Just wanted to give you an example. Oh, another question they ask is, do you have a Jamaican passport or a foreign passport with an unconditional landing stamp? Now, listen, you need one of these. You need it now. Obtaining returning resident status is not a spur of the moment thing. This is something you need to plan out. That said, if you do not have your Jamaican passport, get it now. If you have a foreign passport, you need to make arrangements with PICA to get the unconditional landing stamp. If I recall, that has to be done in one of the Kingston offices. I can't remember which one, but you need to handle that right now. If you do not have a Jamaican passport or an unconditional landing stamp, you're stalled and need to take care of that first. And listen, do not take my word for it. Call Jamaica Customs Agency and confirm. They may be able to work something out with you. I mean, I doubt it, but they might. You never know. So the next section on the application is regarding supporting documentation, which you must have for your application. There's a list of documents that you can supply for those of us who are coming from abroad, and a second list for those, a shorter list for those who are currently in Jamaica who are going to be seeking returning resident status. Now, you do not have to provide all of the documents. In fact, you can only upload about 10 documents. They just want to give you options as to what it is you can provide to support your application for returning resident status. So here are some of the documents that you can use to accompany your application. And again, this is not a complete list. It's just an example, a small sample of what you can provide: a Jamaican passport, a notarized letter confirming residency abroad for 3 consecutive years, a letter from the Jamaican consulate confirming residency abroad for 3 consecutive years, a work permit, pay stubs for the last quarter, for the last 3 consecutive years, a letter from PICA confirming landing, retirement papers, death certificate. Remember the deceased person, and any other documents that validates residency abroad for the last 3 consecutive years. Now, again, this is just a few of the options that you can decide to provide. And as I said, just for those of us who are abroad, there's a different list of documents for those who are currently in Jamaica. But that's a little over the top, right? So I called customs to confirm. And you would be good if you have just your Jamaican or foreign passport with the landing stamp, tax returns for the past 3 consecutive years, and I don't know why you wouldn't have your tax returns, or maybe some other documentation, maybe from Medicare or Social Security showing residency for the past 3 consecutive years. So I'll tell you what we provided. We provided my husband's Jamaican passport, our tax returns, my husband's letter of resignation to his employers, and a signed letter from the head of household in Jamaica, stamped by a justice of the peace, stating that we will be residing with her, along with a Jamaican utility bill. Now, to be completely transparent, we submitted our application before providing the Jamaica head of household letter along with a utility bill, because that documentation option was under this section for returning residents who are already in Jamaica. I didn't even notice it because it was under the Jamaica section. It didn't even make any sense. Anywho, we promptly received an email from Customs informing that we would need that letter along with a copy of her utility bill. So we're making that happen, which, I can tell you is not really an easy thing to do all the way here. They don't necessarily have access to the internet so much, no printers, no scanners. So we have to prepare the letter, get it to her. We're going to email it. We got somebody with an email address. Get it printed, get it signed, get it signed and stamped by a JP, have them send it back to us so that we can upload it to the customs website. So we're working on that part. So that head of household letter is one of the documents you would need, or some other document you would need to show some proof of Jamaican residency. So make sure you arrange for this portion in advance and not be caught like we were. You're going to have to either have this letter or your Jamaican lease agreement, proof of property ownership, as well as a Jamaican utility bill. They want to make sure you actually have a place to live when you get to Jamaica. I initially was going to just put down that we own property in Jamaica. Well, we do, but it's just a piece of land. So yeah, we still have to build a house. So that wouldn't have worked out anyway. So we had to go this route. Now, the last question on the application is, what are you importing? Household and personal items, tools of trade, vehicle, a combination of all of those. And that's it. That's the entire application. Once your application is complete and your documents uploaded, you will hit submit. You will then get a page that your application is submitted and will be processed in 2 to 3 business days. Then there's also a number for you to contact them. So as I mentioned earlier, we did not provide the head of household letter when we initially submitted our application. But before the day's end, we received a response informing that we would need that letter along with the Jamaica utility bill. So it was really, really fast. Jamaica Customs is very prompt in response to these applications, as they understand anyone taking this step is looking to make a move and need to arrange for shipping. Shippers tend to need the returning resident status ahead of time. Now, as much information that I just provided, all of that is still only 2 pages. It just sounds like a lot. This really is nothing to worry about at all. We're only doing this to get the duty-free exemptions because we will be building a house and we need an entire household full of furnishings and whatnot. Otherwise, we wouldn't do this. We would just come home and work out my Jamaican citizenship thing. But because we have to ship in an entire container, we want that duty-free exemption. And so we're going this route. I wanted to make sure that anyone else who wanted to go this route will have the information that you need. Now, if you're already on the island and you want the returning residents status, you then need to have done this step within 12 months of your arrival. It may actually be less than that. But yeah, the only reason why we're doing this is to get the duty-free exemption. So we have submitted our application. We've not received our returning residence approval yet. Hopefully it will be really short. I decided to just go ahead and let you know this step now so that you can start the process. I'll do a follow-up video to let you know after we get our approval and let you know how that went and um, anything else that comes out. So be on the lookout for that video really soon. I will be talking to you in more detail about shippers. I will tell you this much though, most of the shippers that I spoke with, and I spoke with plenty, they couldn't give me much detail about the costs and the procedures. They really wanted to know like ahead of time whether I already had my returning residence certification. It's like they needed that in order to be able to tell me even like basic costs. Some gave me a little bit more detail, but not much and not many of them. So I will do another video on shippers. I do know this much. It's going to be expensive. But we kind of knew it was going to be. It wasn't going to be cheap. The lowest price I've gotten so far, just as a base price for like a 20-foot container, was like $2,500. And that was just the base price. That wasn't to get anything shipped out. That wasn't for stores. That wasn't for anything. But it's going to be quite a few $1,000s, but we kind of expected that. I will give you more details in another video. So this video is long enough, so I'm going to end it right there. So that is all I have for you on my returning residence application and a little bit on shippers. I trust this video was informative without being too overwhelming. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Please give this video a thumbs up, leave any comments in the comment section down below, and please feel free to share it. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you will know every time I upload a new video. If you've not done so, please go back and give my other videos a watch, a like, a comment, and share them as well. Signing off for now, love, joy, and health to you until we meet again. Stay conscious and stay connected. Peace.